President Obama gave a major foreign policy address about the Middle East, and he talked about how the Israeli-Palestinian conflict should be based on the 1967 lines with mutual agreed swaps. These borders, which are actually the 1949 armistice lines, are physically indefensible, as numerous military experts have plainly stated. And asking Israel to return to these borders is unacceptable and places Israel in a vulnerable and dangerous position. President Bush, in his 2004 letter to then Prime Minister Sharon, stated clearly the position of the United States that in light of new realities on the ground, including major existing Israeli population centers, it is unrealistic to expect the outcome of the final status negotiations to be a full and complete return to the armistice lines of 1949. And previous efforts to negotiate a two-state solution have reached the same conclusion. President Bush often spoke about Israel's need for secure and defensible borders and recognized Israel's claim to certain high-population Jewish areas. In contrast, President Obama has consistently condemned even the building of housing in municipal Jerusalem itself. He insisted on a full settlement freeze, even though Abbas has said it wasn't his idea, it was Obama's. This has emboldened Palestinian extremists, damaged the Palestinian Authority's ability to negotiate, and forced Israel to question the sincerity of the administration's friendship. He's meaning borders here for Israel that are less secure and defensible and puts Israel at risk. Joe Pollack, who was a Republican candidate in my congressional district, made a list of statements that President Obama, when he just got his candidacy approved by the Democratic Party in 2008, when he spoke at the AIPAC convention, and he said then that Jerusalem will remain the capital of Israel and must remain undivided. The next day he started backing off and repudiating it. And then, of course, he's basically said that Israel has no right to build anywhere in Jerusalem. He also said then that they would use all efforts, including aggressive principled diplomacy, to stop Iran from getting nuclear bombs. They've done virtually nothing, and Iran is going full steam ahead. He said that Annapolis, in his interpretation during President Bush's administration, said they should refrain from building new settlements. That's not what Annapolis agreement was at all. In fact, everyone understood that settlements would be a part of a negotiation toward a two-state solution. And he said the bond between Israel and the U.S. is unbreakable. He's repeatedly tested that bond, portraying Israeli construction in East Jerusalem as an obstacle to negotiation, declaring Israeli settlements illegitimate, supporting U.S. institutions that do little but condemn Israel. Now, Congressman Allen West, in responding to Obama's speech, said the following: "Today's endorsement by Obama of the creation of a Hamas-led Palestinian state based on pre-67 borders signals the most egregious foreign policy decision his administration has made to date and could be the beginning of the end of the Jewish state. The pre-67 borders endorsed by Obama would deny millions of the world's Jews access to their holy site, force Israel to return the strategically important Golan Heights to Syria, a state sponsor of terrorism. It would mean a full withdrawal from the West Bank and the Jewish neighborhoods of East Jerusalem. In short, Hamas-run Palestinian state envisioned by Obama would be devastating to Israel and the world's Jews. It would be a reward to a declared Islamic terrorist organization, an unacceptable policy initiative." And so we have a very dangerous situation as West said, President Obama has not stood for Israel or the Jewish people, has made it clear that the United States will stand when Palestinian attempts to gain recognition of statehood by the UN. The president should focus on the real obstacle to security, the Palestinian leadership, and its ultimate goal to eliminate Israel and the Jewish people. So that's what I think about President Obama's horrible, egregious, dangerous foreign policy address.